This tutorial is for 4th grade, Module 5, Lesson 33. In this lesson, we're going to start by using a number line to solve subtraction problems by counting up on the number line and showing the related addition problem. Let's look at the first problem. The problem is 3 1/3 minus 1 2/3. And again, we're going to use the number line to count on to find the difference between these two fractions. So I'm going to start by plotting both fractions on the number line. So I'll find 3 1/3 and I'll mark that. So I'm at 3 1/3 here. And then I'll also plot 1 2/3. So 1 2/3 is right here. If I find the difference between those points, that would be the answer to my subtraction problem. So I'm going to start at the 1 2/3 and I'm going to count up to 3 1/3. I'm going to start by jumping to my 2 wholes. That's a jump of 1/3 since each whole number has been divided into thirds. From that point, I'm going to do a jump of 1 whole. So I jumped from 2 wholes to 3 wholes, so that's just adding 1. And then I'm going to do one more hop from 3 to 3 1/3, and that's another hop of 1/3. Now I just need to add the numbers that I hopped. So I have 1 whole and 2/3. That tells me that the difference between 3 1/3 and 1 2/3 is 1 2/3. The related addition problem then is 1 2/3, which is this number, plus 1 2/3, which was my answer, equals 3 1/3. So this is just another way we can solve subtraction problems on the number line. We can use the counting up method. Here's another example. This time the problem is 5 1/4 minus 2 3/4. Again, I'll start by plotting both fractions on the number line. 5 1/4 falls here, and 2 3/4 falls here. Now I just need to find the difference between those 2 points on the number line. Again, I'm going to start by hopping to the whole number, and that is a hop of 1/4 since each whole section has been divided into fourths. Then I'm going to jump my whole numbers, so if I can jump from 3 to 4 and then 4 to 5, that's a hop of 2 whole numbers. My final hop will be one more hop of 1/4. That lands me at 5 1/4. Now I just need to add my hops, so I have 2 wholes and 2 fourths. So 5 1/4 minus 2 3/4 is 2 2/4. The related addition problem then would be 2 3/4 plus 2 2/4 equals 5 1/4. The next section is a review of the strategy from Lesson 32, where we use number bonds to help us decompose our mixed numerals so we can do the subtraction. The only difference is now we're subtracting whole numbers along with our fractions. My first problem is 3 1/4 minus 1 3/4. Well, if we want to start by subtracting our fractions, we need to decompose this first number, because right now I'm trying to subtract 3/4 from 1/4 and I don't have enough fourths there. So we took 1 whole away from the 3, and that's why we have 2 down there. We convert that 1 whole into 4/4, and then we combine the 4/4 with the 1/4 that was already there. That's how we got 5/4. So 3 1/4 is the same as 2 5/4. I'm going to use this number bond to change my problem to 2 5/4 minus 1 3/4. I can start by subtracting my fractions. 5/4 minus 3/4 is 2/4, and then subtract my whole numbers. 2 minus 1 is 1, and that's how I get a final answer of 1 2/4. So look at another problem. Here we have 4 1/5 minus 2 4/5. Again, if I want to subtract those fractions, I need to decompose my first number. I'm going to take 1 whole off of the 4. That will leave 3. I'm going to convert my 1 whole into 5/5 since we're working with fifths in the problem. I'll combine those 5/5 with the 1/5 I already have. That gives me a total of 6/5. So 3 6/5 is the same as 4 1/5. My new problem then is 3 6/5 minus 2 4/5. Now I can subtract my fractions. 6/5 minus 4/5 is 2/5, and subtract my whole numbers. 3 minus 2 is 1, for a final answer of 1 2/5.